Thrilling chases, intense confrontations have made hearts race. From high-speed pursuits to intense moments on the streets, each event holds gripping and powerful emotions. Life is always full of surprises and challenges. On August 22, 2022, at approximately 6:09 p.m., an officer was stopped on westbound I-20 near the interchange with I-75/85 in Atlanta, Georgia, when they suddenly noticed a black motorcycle speeding from behind. The rider was weaving through lanes without using turn signals and was clearly traveling well above the posted 55 miles per hour speed limit. The officer immediately activated the radar, which displayed a shocking speed of 110 miles per hour. The officer then activated emergency lights and sirens to signal the rider to stop. However, the rider looked back and accelerated forward, fleeing westbound on I-20, exiting onto Lee Street, then circling back onto eastbound I-20, continuing to travel at high speeds and changing lanes recklessly. The pursuit continued through several crowded streets: Windsor, Fulton, Capitol, and Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. The rider blatantly ignored traffic signs, ran red lights, and came dangerously close to hitting pedestrians. The pursuing officer maintained a cautious distance, knowing a GSP aviation unit was monitoring the situation from above to ensure public safety. As the chase approached the intersection of Ralph David Abernathy and Central Avenue, fellow officer TFCM tenants skillfully positioned their patrol vehicle to intercept and direct the rider. Unexpectedly, the rider did not comply but instead crashed directly into TFC tenant's vehicle. The motorcycle was thrown from under the rider, who landed on top of the patrol car before falling to the ground. Officers were then able to apprehend the suspect, later identified as Derek Birch. It was a tense and dramatic end to a dangerous high-speed pursuit. Corporal J. Ennis promptly arrived at the scene to investigate the crash, while the initial pursuing officer transported Derek Birch to the Atlanta Detention Center. Although the incident concluded, the speed, danger, and bravery involved remain vivid in the memories of those present.
I can't help you. I can't help you if you... Alright, you don't have to help me.
Hudson, Florida. A shocking event that shook the community has been revealed through body camera footage from the police officers. You can't take your eyes off every tense moment. The incident occurred at the racetrack gas station on US 19 and Little Road, when 79-year-old James Zambrano approached the officers.
Listen to me. I want to show you something. Can you put the car in neutral?
The footage begins with officers trying to talk and calm the situation as Zambrano appeared confused and said he might harm himself and others. Meanwhile, the police quickly set up barriers to prevent vehicle movement and control the scene. Tension escalated as Zambrano refused to give up, forcing officers to use pepper spray to subdue him.
What are you doing? Hey, put the car here.
Next came an unforgettable scene. Zambrano deliberately rammed his vehicle into a patrol car, creating chaos. Then came the decisive moment. He fired at the officers, who had to respond. Fortunately, no officers were injured in the confrontation.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not lift your hand.
It was a life or death struggle.
Watch his hand.
James Zambrano is currently receiving care at a local hospital, while the officers continue their duty to keep the community safe. The video not only captures the event but also deeply conveys the pressure and silent sacrifices of those who uphold the law. A deeply emotional and dramatic story that leaves a lasting impression on anyone who watches.
Start fire rescue. Hey, get over there, get over there. Check where his hands are.
We're getting up on 64, going west.
I'll call it 21, get up there. Okay, you turn.
Mulberry, Arkansas. A heart-pounding chase has just been revealed through dashcam footage from the Arkansas State Police. The tension and speed in this incident are unbelievable. Around 7:20 p.m., a black Chevy Silverado pickup suddenly fled from a traffic checkpoint near Van Buren, sparking a dramatic pursuit. Throughout the chase, the driver weaved dangerously through lanes, ran red lights, and reached speeds up to 122 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. Trooper Matthew Price tried tactics like the pit maneuver to stop the vehicle, but the driver stubbornly regained control and sped off. The scene grew increasingly intense, keeping everyone on edge every second. At about 7:35 p.m. on Mulberry Highway 64W, another patrol car successfully performed a pit, causing the suspect's vehicle to spin out and stop. Police quickly surrounded the car, drawing weapons in a breathtaking standoff. Inside, they found a pregnant woman in the back seat and a man in the front passenger seat. The driver and passengers were removed and detained.
Driver's side damage now from my pit. Speed 62.
According to the footage, the front passenger identified himself as 32-year-old Schaefer Smith, while the driver gave his name as 30-year-old Robert Regal, though Trooper Price suspected the driver lied after hearing his name twice. In the patrol car, the driver called his girlfriend to report what had just happened.
Shut up!
The pregnant woman said they had just arrived from Dallas and barely knew the two men, only having met through her boyfriend. A thrilling and mysterious chase that no one could look away from. The investigation is ongoing, and updates will be provided as soon as new information becomes available.
Go to the other side, I'll cover him.
Good job, guys.
Where are we at? You're at a little Mulberry 64. Get in the car. I don't want to hear another excuse.
I'm gonna give you a time again. We have 50 kilometers out of Florida and Texas also.
At approximately 10:53 a.m. on May 10, 2024, an officer was parked at the BP gas station on Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway when they observed a red Dodge Ram TRX with an excessively tinted front windshield. What followed was an unexpected and intense pursuit. The vehicle exited the Chevron gas station at 3260 and sped southbound on Bolton Road. The officer pursued the truck, which was traveling at a very high speed, weaving dangerously through sharp turns in a residential area. At one point, a silver SUV intentionally blocked both lanes of the road, forcing the Dodge to maneuver around it. Moments later, a horrific crash occurred. The red truck sustained severe damage after a major collision. The officer immediately reported the incident to Troop C dispatch and noticed blood coming from the driver's side. The driver was still buckled in but showed no signs of response. Their body and seat had shifted out of position, creating a heartbreaking and disturbing scene. It was a deeply emotional and unforgettable moment. Soon after, fellow officers and emergency responders arrived to assist, investigate the scene, and manage the incident. The driver was identified as K1 Tucker, who had an outstanding warrant at the time. The incident concluded with the involvement of both medical personnel and law enforcement, leaving a lasting impression on those who witnessed it. On June 9, 2021, TFC-3 Brody Forrester received a request for assistance from Sergeant Allen and Investigator Andy Bell of DeKalb County to apprehend a suspect wanted for murder. What unfolded was an intense and high-risk pursuit. The suspect, Terrell Gass, was driving a black Dodge Dart with license plate CNL 2179 and was located in the area of Godby Road. Upon approach, TFC-3 Forrester identified the suspect through the vehicle's untinted window and coordinated with fellow officers to initiate a tactical vehicle containment. However, the suspect intentionally rammed a patrol vehicle and fled the scene, driving recklessly, running red lights, traveling against traffic, and nearly striking pedestrians. The high-speed chase continued onto I-285, where Corporal Tarpley successfully executed a pit maneuver to bring the suspect's vehicle to a stop. The suspect then exited the vehicle and attempted to flee on foot, reaching into his pants pocket in a manner that raised serious concerns about the possible presence of a weapon. In a tense and rapidly evolving situation, TFC-3 Forrester deployed a taser in an attempt to incapacitate the suspect. When the suspect brandished a firearm and posed an immediate threat, the officer was forced to discharge his weapon to protect fellow officers and nearby civilians. The suspect was ultimately subdued and taken into custody safely. The incident concluded with professionalism, decisiveness, and a strong sense of duty by law enforcement personnel.
Heartbeat right now is going 60.
On the evening of August 11, 2022, a heart-pounding chase unfolded as three individuals were arrested after driving a stolen Dodge Ram truck and firing shots at police officers. Unbelievable, every second was filled with tension. Michigan State Police teamed up with Detroit Police to pursue the black truck on Interstate 75 near Schaefer. During the chase, gunfire was fired from the rear sliding window toward officers, making the situation extremely dangerous. By around 10:10 p.m., law enforcement used a tactic to stop the truck on the northbound Southfield Freeway near Outer Drive in Allen Park. The three suspects quickly fled on foot but were caught shortly after. Police found an AR-15 rifle inside the vehicle, and a semi-automatic handgun was discovered by a K-9 unit under a tree just a few blocks away from where the truck stopped. The entire event made hearts race, especially knowing the driver was wanted for a double homicide. This was a remarkable achievement for the police, who ensured community safety while successfully apprehending dangerous individuals.
Passengers to your right.
What a dramatic and intense confrontation. The incident took place in Dundalk, Baltimore County, where police officers were forced to shoot an armed robbery suspect to protect their lives and the safety of those around them. Blaine Robert Erb, 35, homeless, was fatally shot near 3400 Dundalk Avenue after a fierce gunfight. Earlier, Erb caused chaos by threatening two people with a gun in a shopping center parking lot, frightening many. After this reckless act, he boarded an MTA bus, hoping to escape. Unfortunately, officers quickly intercepted him, leading to a tense shootout on the bus. During the clash, a police officer and a bystander were seriously injured, creating a tense and heart-wrenching atmosphere. The feeling of anxiety and sympathy for those affected is hard to describe. In the end, the police's decisive action stopped a major threat, protecting community safety. This incident highlights the courage and unwavering determination of law enforcement to maintain social order.
Downhill and Brody, shut it down on both sides. Where's he at? Open, 420, point at you. Alright, go to the back. So he's got a gun in his hand. Use caution, he is crouched down behind this car. Let me get unit bell clear.
What an incredibly tense situation. On July 13, 2016, Fresno Police Chief Jerry Dyer released body cam footage capturing the moment officers approached 19-year-old Dylan Noble after he repeatedly failed to comply with commands to stop and raise his hands. The incident has prompted deep reflection on how to handle such difficult situations.
Get down on the ground! Fresno Police Department, get down on the ground! You don't have a dog? Get your fucking ass on the ground! Fresno Police Department! Drop whatever you have in your hand! 3 Baker 12, shots fired, suspect down, start EMS code 3. Let me see your hand! Dude, do not reach again, please!
The chaotic scene that day was almost unbelievable.
Hey!
On April 20th, 2024, while patrolling Nelson Road, an officer observed an older model white Ford pickup truck swerving and repeatedly veering onto the shoulder. When the officer activated emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop, the driver not only refused to comply but accelerated and fled at speeds reaching 80 to 90 miles per hour in a zone with a 55 miles per hour speed limit. The vehicle blew past traffic signs, was involved in collisions, even launched into the air, and continued fleeing recklessly while doing wheelies. During the high-speed pursuit, it became clear the driver had no regard for his own safety or that of others. His actions were dangerously reckless and entirely unacceptable. When he attempted to ram the officer's patrol vehicle, the officer was forced to take decisive action, executing a pit maneuver and closely trailing the vehicle on the highway. Eventually, the suspect's truck flipped onto its side, but he still tried to flee, escalating the situation even further. After persistent efforts, the officer was able to subdue the driver. Upon inspection, the suspect was found to be in possession of a substance believed to be drugs and refused to undergo testing. The incident concluded when the suspect was transported to the hospital and later booked into jail. A dramatic and life-threatening chase had finally come to an end, highlighting both the danger of the situation and the determination of law enforcement.
There's going to be an injury involved in the 361 is out too. I'm not sure where he's coming from.
It is unimaginable that such a high-speed chase would take place right on the highway. On December 16, 2021, an officer spotted the driver of a silver Honda Civic using a phone while driving and immediately initiated a traffic stop. However, instead of complying, the driver accelerated into a frantic pursuit, continuously changing lanes and driving on the shoulder amid heavy traffic. Near the entrance to I-85, the vehicle crashed into a concrete barrier and a van but continued fleeing at high speed, making the situation extremely dangerous.
Hands up! Driver's crawling out back door.
During the tense chase, the officer performed multiple pit maneuvers to stop the vehicle. Eventually, the suspect's car spun out and came to an uncontrolled stop in the opposite lane. It was a breathtaking moment. The officer immediately ordered both the driver and passenger to raise their hands. The passenger complied, but the driver refused to cooperate, moving constantly and attempting to conceal actions, forcing the officer to deploy a taser to ensure safety. Finally, with the assistance of fellow officers, they managed to subdue the driver after a strenuous physical and mental struggle. Upon search, several suspicious items were found in the vehicle, escalating the severity of the case. After receiving medical care, the driver was taken into custody without further incident. The dramatic and dangerous chase concluded, leaving profound lessons about the risks of irresponsible driving.
Right at the exit to 85, it was a white van.
The officer got in one of the car. I was driving out. Come on.
It was surprising that such a tense situation happened right in broad daylight. In Nashville, Officer Josh Baker approached Nika Nicole Holbert, who was driving a Camaro linked to multiple warrants. At first, she cooperated, but when suspicious items were found, the situation quickly got out of control. A confrontation occurred, leaving both injured. Fortunately, the officer is now stable after receiving medical care.
Ma'am! Put the gun down! Put the gun down! 23 shots fired! Shots fired! 23, I'm hit. Step out. Ma'am! Put the gun down! Put the gun down! 23, I'm hit.
It's unbelievable that this heart-pounding chase actually happened. On June 6, White Lake Township Police stopped a woman near M59 and Fisk Road. She gave a fake name, then suddenly fled, speeding through traffic in a desperate pursuit. After about 4 tense minutes, she lost control and crashed into a utility pole. Police quickly surrounded and arrested her. Besides multiple warrants, she now faces charges for fleeing from the police. The intense chase has come to an end.
Show me your hands! Driver, show your hands! Hands up! Hands on the wheel, now! Get out of the car!
I'm hurt.
A heart-pounding chase spanning 2 states ended in chaos and tragedy. On Wednesday evening, around 8:25 p.m., a Michigan officer stopped a red Kia at the Greenstem Provisioning parking lot in Niles for a brake light violation.
Okay.
The driver, 32-year-old Joshua Ringel, was wanted for violent offenses. When police attempted to arrest him, a struggle broke out, and Ringel quickly fled back to his car with a female passenger. Police used a stun baton, but Ringel drew a weapon and fled, leading to a chase crossing into South Bend, Indiana. The pursuit escalated as Ringel crashed into a police vehicle blocking the road with spike strips, then ran on foot toward the St. Joseph River. Multiple units were deployed, including drones, K-9s, and a SWAT team, to search the dense forest. Ultimately, Ringel was found deceased at the base of a riverbank slope. The woman in the car was unharmed and not legally involved. A Michigan officer suffered minor injuries but is expected to recover.
Walk